All right, welcome back to Barstool Units, episode 62. I'm Coach Doug's. With me, as always, the Honorable Frank the Tank Fleming. Frank, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Mets on a West Coast trip now. We got hockey. The Tampa Bay Lightning looking for a sweep. Uh, we got the Battle of Alberta, which has been just insane. The Avalanche are looking to take command of that series, and the Rangers are hoping to finally going to try to tie the series up tomorrow, or they'll be on the verge of being knocked out.
Yeah. Well,
Meanwhile, in the NBA, you get blowout. Oh, excitement. Warriors going to easily win another NBA championship. Every game's a blowout. No excitement. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, it's a good time to not be an NBA fan and not have an NBA team and in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, it has occurred to me the NBA sucks.
Yeah, that's some people say that. Some people say it's rigged. Some people say the players run the league. Some people, just a lot of a lot of not so great things. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Dramatic moment right now. We're of course recording on Monday night, and Tampa may have taken the lead in Game 4, looking for a sweep against the Panthers.
Frank, are you watching sports while we're recording?
I always had watching sports.
We've discussed this. We've talked about this, Frank. I need your full attention while we're recording. And you watch sports. We talked about this. You lose track. You lose track. You go off on tangents.
I got a tricorder mind that could split into 7 different directions at the same time.
I think one of your minds thinks that. The other 6 are off doing their own little thing, and everybody's just looking at you like, what?
It's called multitasking.
Yeah. I have someone I look up to once said, never half-ass 2 things. Whole ass 1 thing.
Well, it's just that they have the game in the background while
Frank, you're looking right at you're not even looking at me. You're looking at the game. It's not in the background if you're staring at the game, watching the game.
I'm looking at you and the game's over the monitor.
No, you were what, Frank? Were you just looking at the TV or are you looking at your laptop?
I'm looking at both at the same time.
No.
Well,
we'll continue it. It's playoff hockey, and who knows? Maybe I don't know. We'll continue, and we'll have this discussion off air later on.
Come on, even every radio show does this. FAN. Mike Francesa used to watch NCAA tournament games while doing his show.
Who?
Mike Francesa.
I don't know who he is. I don't care.
He is the guy who basically invented.
No, Frank, I was doing a Francesca impression when they asked him about Stan Lee dying. Like, how do you feel? Who? Stan Lee create comic books? I don't.
Well, you know who took his show, don't you?
Don Imus.
No, Don Imus did mornings.
Howie Mandel.
His show is now being done by 2 guys, Evan Roberts and Craig Carton.
Oh, really? They stole his show?
Well, Mike Francesa just became like a get off my lawn type of guy. So they now have newer, younger hosts, and
they took his lawn.
Yeah, they took his lawn.
He said, "Get off my lawn." They said, "We're actually here to take your lawn."
Well, they'll be at DJ's for the Friday summer kickoff.
That's upcoming this Friday. Are you sure you want to go to that? It's
Yes.
it's at DJ's. DJ's is a club, right? I remember Rico in the front, front of the crowd, fist pumping like it's a club, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's an opportunity to meet with these guys, Craig Carton, Evan Roberts. They have
Oh, okay.
invited me.
Go ahead.
They have invited me to appear on their show.
Okay, and it's at DJ's.
Yes, it's a summer kickoff where WFAN is going to be doing radio shows all day from there.
Did you ask them if you could come on a different time, like sometime when they're in Manhattan where you work, and it would be an easy trip?
No, this is where fans are going to be. I'm going to go out and meet some fans and be on the fan. It's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity to go to a club, and I mean it's like an hour and a half drive, right?
Depends on the traffic. On a good day, it actually is about maybe a 70-minute drive.
Okay, but we're going down on a Friday of Memorial Day weekend, so that's going to be like the exact opposite of a good day.
Well, we'll see. This is an opportunity. We could maybe we could end up getting in a radio show spot on WFAN.
Frank, you can't pay attention to a podcast for half an hour.
People on WFAN, this is how they do it. They watch TV as they do their radio show. That's how it's done. That's how it's always been done.
I think some people have the ability to watch sports and also conduct an interview or talk about.
So do I. That's me. Ding.
I think your camera's out of focus, Frank.
Yeah, this has been happening a lot lately.
All right, so Friday, the plan is to drive 2 hours to a club where it's a club, so there probably isn't going to be any seating in order for you to be on a radio show for 5 minutes and then drive 2 hours back.
It won't be 2 hours back.
Okay, so 2 hours there, an hour back.
Yeah.
All right.
This is called Doug's. This is called networking. If we get there early enough, maybe we'll run into Boomer Esiason.
And what? Okay, so let's roll with this. We're going with it. We're running with it. So let's say we get there early enough. You run into Boomer Esiason. What do you do with that? Where does
networking? It's getting to know people. It's getting your name out there. This is how you get to 120,000 followers on Twitter, which I'm going to be hitting pretty soon. This is how you do it.
You drive 3 hours to go to on a 5-minute radio segment?
Yes.
All right, Frank. I mean, listen, it's your car. If you want to drive, we'll drive. In my head, I'm thinking, well, I mean, if the purpose, okay, so we're not going to be on the radio. We're going to network. This is a network event. Okay.
Yeah, right. It's that too.
And so I'm going to meet Boomer Esiason if I go.
There's a chance, yes.
Frank, you sound like those guys passing out the flyers in front of the comedy store places. Jerry Seinfeld will be here tonight. Dave Chappelle is coming in. And it's like, for sure, none of these guys are going to be there. So you're saying,
if you want to wake up at 7:00 in the morning,
mm-hmm.
then there's probably 100% chance we'll run into Boomer Esiason.
Why 7 o'clock in the morning?
Because that's when his show is on.
So if I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, his show will be on at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I will be able to meet Boomer Esiason at 7 o'clock in the morning?
Well, he'll be down at DJ's.
So I would have to wake up much earlier than 7 o'clock.
His show ends at 9 or 9.
All right. This is okay. So we're driving.
All I know is that Evan. Here we go.
You're out of focus.
I'm getting blurry.
Why are you doing this?
I don't know. With my fucking. I don't know what is going on with this webcam.
It won't focus. It's jeez.
Well, that worked on the other program.
There we go. All right. So I just to be clear, we're driving 3 hours. I'm driving 3 hours on Memorial Day Friday in order for you to possibly run into Boomer Esiason.
Well, it's Evan and Craig, but they've invited me on.
Yeah, but you said you're going for the networking. You're not going for the radio. You're going for the networking.
Well, I'm going for both.
Yeah, but if it was just the radio, if they were just doing their radio show, if it was just those two guys and a couple producers and their tech guys, and they said, hey, Frank, drive 3 hours on Memorial Day Friday to hop on for 5 minutes on this radio show, would you go?
Yes, because going down there is an opportunity.
I'm saying if nobody else was there. Would you go just for the radio show? Be honest.
That's a tough one. But this is
right.
this.
I won't make you choose. I won't make you say the obvious correct answer that we all know.
But this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity to meet Boomer Esiason. I understand.
If he's still there, but mainly Craig and Evan, they're radio stars too. Their show, if they put me on at the right time, I'll actually be on SNY.
Cool. I don't know. I guess it's different when you're not the one driving. I guess it's different when you can just sit in the passenger seat and just, play on your phone and whatnot. So that's what we're doing this Friday. Last Friday. What a wild show Rough and Rowdy 17 was.
And it could have been a lot wilder. I was I spent the early part of Friday hanging around with a bunch of how do I put this? Little people.
Mm-hmm. People of not tall stature.
Yeah, people who refer to themselves as midget wrestlers.
Now I got to bleep that out, Frank. Now I have to edit this whole thing.
But micro wrestlers, also they are basically the dwarfs.
Well, some of them are. They're not all dwarfs.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Little people, but yeah. That's who these guys are. They have their own alliance. They do this wrestling shows, and they travel together. And they had a couple of their fighters involved in Rough and Rowdy, and I shot some videos with them, pretending to be their trainer.
Oh, well, Frank, you gotta no, you're not. This is a show, Frank. You are their trainer.
Okay, yeah, I was training them.
There we go.
I helped them pick out their shoes for the match.
Did you help? Here's a question. Did you help the guy? I believe he hailed from Cleveland, Ohio, but he was wearing British shorts.
Yep.
Was that your decision for him to wear those shorts?
No, but I helped him pick out his shoes.
You helped him pick out the shoes? All right. Are they special shoes that they give the fighters or what?
No, they just picked out wrestling shoes at a local sporting goods store.
Okay, gotcha. Then they pick, and so they bought wrestling shoes in order to fight.
Yes.
All right. It was there were a few good fights, many entertaining fights for sure, even the non-good ones. The Abel brothers are wild.
Yeah, they were something else.
If you want to give me a trip to Sandals, I'll take it, buddy. They're twin brothers. One has lost a lot of weight apparently, and the other one not as much weight has been lost. But they just kept asking Dave for stuff. I'm bonus. If I'll take it, buddy, I'll fight whoever. You
Yeah,
gotta
they were entertaining. Not so entertaining were the units fight,
yeah.
which they should lose their unit status.
Yeah, that was and they really should. That was a disgrace to all units. It was supposed to be a heavyweight match. It was a lot of heavy. It was a lot of weight, but it was more dead weight than anything.
I mean, Slap for Cash should be ashamed of himself.
I don't know what the problem was. At a certain point, it almost felt like they had a gentleman's agreement to not hit each other. Nobody was advancing. Nobody was hitting. Like they weren't even the couple of swings they made. They didn't swing until the person was clearly out of their reach. And I thought for sure. I'll say this: when Notorious hit Slap for Cash, and you realize when Slap for Cash gets hit, he tenses up and he just goes back into like a safety position, and he doesn't swing. So as long as you're either far enough away or right next to him, you should be able to handle him. And I thought for sure once Notorious like hit him once and he backed off and didn't fight back, I thought Notorious was going to go for it, and I thought it was going to get ugly for Slap for Cash, but then he backed off, and they both they both did not want to be in that ring, which is fine if you don't want to fight. If you don't want to be in the ring, don't get in the ring. That's the problem. It was a disgrace to the unit community, and we need to do something to regain that honor. A heavyweight match should be a heavyweight match. It should be two big guys duking it out. Even if it is a horrible fight, it's rough and rowdy. They're almost all going to be bad fights. If you're looking for technical boxing, they're all going to be bad, but they're going to be fun. They're going to be entertaining. They're going to be fun to watch. A unit needs to step up and get in the ring in order to regain the unit honor that Rough and Rowdy once had.
I mean, what about you? You think you could get in the ring? I know I can't. I'd be doing what Slap for Cash did. Looking for a way out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would get in the ring. Obviously I don't want to get my ass kicked, I'm not looking to get beat up. And obviously I'm not in the healthiest, condition, but I mean, none of those guys are in the heavyweight fights. But yeah, if they found the right opponent, I would like to train. I think the next Rough and Rowdy is only like 3 months away.
Yeah, it's in August.
Yeah, in August. So, I mean, obviously, I'd like to start training soon if I were to do it. But
well,
we'll see.
A wise guy once said, for a 40 for you got 3 rounds, each of them 15 rounds, each of them 3 minutes. That's 45 minutes. So for a 45-minute fight, you got to train for 45,000 hours. Well, I guess for a 3-minute fight, you have to train for 3,000 hours.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't seem like a lot. It might be a lot in 3 months.
And you need speed. Greasy, fast speed.
Eat. What is it? Eat Thunder.
Eat lightning and crap thunder.
Crap Thunder. Yeah. Yeah. No, I would absolutely be open to it. I mean, I've already called out the guy that approached us at the Mets game. Unfortunately, I didn't hear anything back from that. Obviously, I think the video was shared enough on Twitter to where it would have gotten to the guy. I did have one individual message me a screenshot of a tweet from an account that said the Mets are 1-0 when I yell in Frank's face. That tweet is not on the account anymore. So either it's a fake tweet or it was deleted. But I don't know. But I've already called out somebody. If they can find me an opponent, yeah, I'd get in the ring.
Things could have gotten interesting on Friday. Of course, we all know by now that Dave and Caleb were grounded because of thunderstorms and bad weather in Fort Lauderdale. Well, everyone else was also facing rough weather. And it was basically me and Large were there for the weigh-in.
Yeah.
And it almost looked like if Big Cat, Robbie, and everyone else couldn't get out there, I would have been on the mic with Large over there, or it would have been Large and Pete and me doing interviews after the fight. And I was already getting my vocal cords warmed up to sing the national anthem.
Yeah, it would have been fun. It would have been, obviously it would have been a shit show, but it would have, I mean, that's the whole thing about Rough and Rowdy. It's unfortunate that Dave and Caleb couldn't make it. Obviously it would have been great if they were there, but I think it's almost like the perfect Barstool story. Like, hey, like the big guys can't make it due to weather delays and, all this stuff. And so we're going to throw Frank on the color comment. I talked to people in the office. Obviously Large would have been great at it. Large is just a work of art as far as a form of a person. He's great at everything, and he would have been great at it. I think you would have been throwing in Mets references that nobody understood. But again, it would have been bad, but it would have been funny and it would have been entertaining.
And he misses as many punches as Kevin Baez did when he was batting for the Mets.
Yeah, exactly. And like 4 people would find that hilarious, and every other person who bought the pay-per-view would be wondering what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, look at these
fighters in the ring.
Look at Slap for Cash. He's just standing there. This kind of reminds me of the time that Chris Donalds was on the Mets.
That would have been, those would have been your calls. And again, they would have been bad. They would have been terrible. But I think people would have appreciated how
I would have told a lot of dad jokes there, of course, too. Of course, when someone got knocked out, I would have done I would have come up with a knockout call. Timber, it's time to go sleep. Sweet dreams.
I think we're all grateful that Robbie and Big Cat made it. And you said Pete would have been doing exit interviews out of the ring.
Either Pete would have been on color and me on interviews, or Pete doing exit interviews.
That would have been so terrible. I would have watched it. I would watch it 100 times. But
so what happened? So what is that? You won the fight, but you didn't get the knockout. Did you want the knockout? Or probably got to interview the loser goes, you just got knocked the fuck out. Are you feeling all right?
Are you okay? Yeah, it would have been the dullest, driest commentary you can think of. But again,
and then we had the controversial ending of the fight with limp dick booty daddy.
Yeah, you can't talk like that. You can't say what you say to people and then not show up. He said some things that even if say it was like people pumping themselves up, like, trying to promote themselves as an individual, for the internet. The things that he said to people are things that would get your ass kicked outside the ring on a normal day.
And he had like half the locker room was out there, like during his fight, wanted to kick his ass.
Yeah. And so for him to say all that, talk all that trash, and then give up after the second round, you got one more round. It's literally one more minute. Why would you not, even if it was a shit show? He tried to wrestle Bobby Lang the whole time. Even if it was a shit show and like everybody hated your guts and you lost the fight, at least lose it in 3 rounds. Quitting in the second round, claiming, oh, your shoulder injury or whatever, it's such bullshit.
And of course, Spider was almost collateral damage.
Yeah. When you first saw the from the view from the camera, it looked like he tumbled 100 times. It looked like the camera just kept rolling. But yeah, if that guy, whoever that guy was ringside, if he hadn't caught him, it might have been ugly.
I mean, that fight was just like all he kept doing was like charging at him.
Yeah, well, all he had, and if you saw his last fight, he got a lucky knockout. He cocks his left arm back. And that's all he just cocks his left arm back and then like tries to wait to hit with it. And when he didn't land it on Bobby Lang, and after he didn't land it, he freaked out and he tried to take him down wrestling style, and he just kept doing that over and over again. And again, you can talk all the smack you want and everything. If you talk shit, you get in the ring and you lose, but you fought, then like whatever, keep talking shit. Like that's fine. But you got in the ring and you did what you said you were going to do. To quit after the second round is just garbage.
Well, he just basically destroyed himself. He destroyed any credibility he had, any chance of doing something, and I doubt we'll ever see him again.
Yeah, there's no reason to see him again, because there's a big difference between a heel and an asshole. You can be a heel. If you're a great heel, a lot of people are going to hate you, but they're going to love to hate you. People just hate his guts, and they don't want to it's not that they hate him. It's that they loathe him and they don't want to hear from him. They do not like him. They want him to go away.
People have had pictures of me looking at like papers.
Mm-hmm.
Wondering what I was looking
I was gonna bring that up later. What were you looking at, Frank?
There were notes on every fight.
There were notes on like where the fighter's from, or
where the fighter's from, what the record is, and like notes. And Big Dick Booty Daddy's note basically said that hates being in West Virginia because there's too many inbred hicks.
Very, very original.
I mean, the guy looks at goes, "Hey, Bobby Lang, you're just another fucking New York piece of shit liberal."
Yeah.
And Bobby Lang basically said, "I don't know what he's talking about. I voted for Trump."
I love like but again, that's the reaction. It's like, what is this guy even talking about?
I mean,
what a joke.
Chances are, if you're a rough and ready fighter, you're not going to be on the left.
Yeah, well, not. Yeah, I mean, I think if you took a poll of all you're probably not voting at all. Really, you're probably not a very political person. I'd say.
No. You're definitely not going to be a classic liberal. I mean, this is the tough guy competition. This is guys who basically have 9 to 5 jobs, and most of them are probably blue collar guys.
Yeah.
Although the women, I heard a couple of the women. One was a phlebotomist.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's that for those that don't know, that's a nurse that takes your blood.
yeah, and then I think she actually drew blood in the fight.
Nice. But yeah, so that was it was something. It was, I mean, Rough and Rowdy is always going to be a fun show. I think Big Cat said it at the end. They're not great fights, but when they are great fights, it makes it that much more special.
Yeah, you're going there to watch a couple of people beat up on each other.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe if they can find me an opponent, maybe you'll see me in the next one.
I mean, there's a couple of fighters who are I think have some skill. Like Ninja has a couple of good skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. There was one fight. I can't remember who it was. It was a white guy and a black guy. I can't remember, but they clearly knew what they were doing. Like they were clearly well trained boxers.
Was that Country Hoodlum and the guy he fought?
Yes. Yeah. Country Hoodlum and the other guy. Those two guys. I'm pretty sure if they went up against any of the other fighters, they would have both won.
Yeah, that was a good fight. I think the other guy's name was like the American Redneck or something like that.
Yeah, both of those guys looked like they knew exactly what they were doing. And
yeah, those guys actually those guys that was a good fight. That was a good fight.
Yeah, the ducking and the weaving, and like they knew what they were doing. So
yeah, I've seen Country Hoodlum a few times. He is a high level amateur boxer.
Yeah, he looked like it. He looked good. Looked real good. So there are some good fights, but yeah. So I don't know. We'll see if they can find me somebody. Maybe you'll see me in the ring in the next Rough and Rowdy. But you had a quick turnaround though. That was a Friday night, and then you were back in Jersey on Saturday.
Yeah, I had the Rough and Rowdy ended like 12:30. I had a flight at 7 o'clock out of Pittsburgh, which means I had to wake up at 5. So there wasn't much sleeping on Friday nights.
Yeah. Well, you got back. We're here for the weekend. Took a nice little trip to Stu's on Sunday.
Nice little trip. Great. His pool was great. He had that food. Was it Puncellos?
Yeah, Porcellos or Porcellos. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's I don't know. Going over there is something that it's almost like a Make-A-Wish kind of thing. It's like going over there. Like everybody should get everybody should get one opportunity to like go to Stu's house for a pool day. He is the host of hosts.
And then we watched the Rangers playoff, the Mets game. We watched the USFL. You had a good weekend with the USFL.
Yeah, I went 7-1. Stu is hype, man. I was getting down on myself because I picked the Generals to cover -7.5. They didn't. They won. This is the second week in a row that Houston has lost on the final play. They lost to Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago. They lost to New Jersey this last week. But New Jersey didn't cover, and so that lost me my perfect record. And the weekend went 7-1 instead of 8-0. But Stu picked me up, and he said 7-1 is great. It's 88%, and 88%. That's a good number, especially when you're over at Stu's house. So I'll take
88 degrees, 88%.
I'll take it. I was 7-1 for you over the weekend. I posted it. I was pretty much 50-50 all the weeks leading up to this. I tried doing an algorithm where I was, putting numbers in a system, and that algorithm went 0-4. So I immediately quit that. But this week I just shot from the hip. I looked at the teams and I said, I don't really think this team can cover. Obviously, I think two of the games came very close to not covering. Most games are within a score. So when you pick a team to win by more than 7 points, I think that's what might make a USFL sharp. Because I think 18 of, maybe, what is it, 24 now? I think maybe 18 or 19 out of the 24 games are all within a score. So if you're picking a team to cover outside that margin, and I think that's what it takes. But yeah, 7-1. Let's see if I can repeat. New Jersey Generals looking good. I mean, they weren't looking great, but they got the win. That's all that matters, right?
Yep, and in the next week or two, we'll be heading down there.
Yeah. We were planning on headed down. I think first week in June, but Stu Feiner brought up a possible trip to Atlantic City, and Frank, I'll get your opinion on this, but my first reaction is Atlantic City with Stu, and then just go to USFL the next week. They're still going to be having games. That's my opinion.
Sounds good to me.
There we go. Atlantic City with Stu. I don't know. What is this life, Frank? It's a wildlife.
Wildlife.
But yeah, so the Mets. Let's talk about the Mets. You had an opportunity. You had an opportunity after one of the, I think, Pete Alonso hit a bomb into left field, and you went on the We Gotta Believe, or is it We Gotta Believe? The podcast?
Yeah, We Gotta Believe podcast.
Yeah. Clem was gracious enough to let you come on and explain yourself. And how'd that go?
I think it went well. You see, my main worry right now is the injuries are going to just catch up to the Mets, and they're going to plunge.
So that's your pessimistic outlook. Is that the injuries are not going to, the performance that the Mets are putting on right now, in spite of the injuries, will not last.
Yeah, especially with a tough 22-game stretch coming.
Mm-hmm. So would it be okay for someone to say that may be the case? There's a possibility, maybe even a good possibility, that it won't last, and the longer the injuries have key players out, that you will start losing games here and there, but that's expected, and so let us enjoy the good games that we have now.
It's just so fucking frustrating. It's just the Mets every year seem to lead the league in injuries.
But what's frustrating about the games that you're winning though?
Nothing. It's games I haven't seen them win like this in a while.
But they are winning.
Yeah.
Okay. So you understand Clem's point of view. You're not saying.
I just worry if I get too positive, the fall will be harder.
Yeah, that's similar to what you said to KFC, and Kevin was speechless. He was he said that
he's upset. He's upset the way I was tweeting.
So sad.
He was upset the way I was tweeting Wednesday nights, and legitimately, maybe not the first one, but after Lindor got a hit, I figured I'd say something bad about every player. And then when they got like 7 hits in a row, I couldn't stop. I had to continue.
And you realize that there are some people out there that will not believe that or will not accept that, even if they believe that's what you're doing, they don't care based on your other tweets?
It's just sometimes when I'm pessimistic, it has good results.
So are you saying you're pessimistic so that the Mets will win?
If I see it's working, I'll get extra pessimistic.
So at no point do you see yourself being positive about the Mets.
I'm afraid if I get too positive,
Well, and that's
might
what I'm
be
saying.
too much.
So you're afraid to get too positive because then if they're not successful, it's a much greater fall. So you won't get positive when the Mets are doing well, but when the Mets are doing badly, you're still going to be negative. So you're just going to be negative either way.
I've just had so much scar tissue.
But the point is, so in no scenario will you ever be positive about the Mets.
I tell you what, if it's August, they have a 20-game lead and are more than 20 games over 500.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could be positive.
For how long? Until they have a 19-game lead? Wouldn't that be if they had a 20-game lead? If they were 20 games over 500, wouldn't that be your worst scenario? Wouldn't that be the worst possible scenario? That means that they were so high in the middle of the season. Wouldn't that be the biggest fall? Do you really want the Mets to be that good? Won't that just lead to the most disappointment ever?
7-game lead with 17 games left. That was 2007.
And how'd that end?
Still haven't gotten over that.
Yeah, but that's 2007. That was literally, 15 years ago?
This team has shown signs that they could be special. And sometimes I just don't know how to handle that.
But to be clear, you're not going to be positive at all this season. So quit.
I might post some positivity in there, but I'm not going to stop being negative when I see negative.
Yeah, but when you see positive, you're still negative. You're negative whether they're negative or positive.
There's always room
negative. If they're negative, you're negative because they're negative. If they're positive, you're being negative in order to help the positive. So you're negative either way. So anybody asking you to not be negative, they need to quit asking because it's not going to happen.
I feel there's always room for improvement.
Always. Has any team ever gone 162-0?
Nope.
No. And even then, even if you're 162-0, there has to be some of those wins that weren't, that were too close, So yeah, there's always room for improvement if that's what you're looking for. Now, you did say you're a perfectionist and that, that's what you're looking for is perfection. Is baseball the best sport to watch if perfection is what you're looking for?
Probably not.
Probably not. Bowling, maybe. Darts, maybe. Possibly some other sports that I don't know about. But if we're really looking for perfection, can we agree that that's not a realistic expectation when we're watching a Major League Baseball team?
No, I guess not.
Okay. All right. But we're still not going to be positive, though. I want to make sure that people know. Quit asking for it. It's not happening.
I'll try not to be as negative.
What if that negativity is helping them win, Frank? Then you're hurting the team.
That's why I got to stay true to myself.
You got to stay true to yourself, Frank. That's what I always say. You got to stay true to yourself, no matter whether people hate you for it or not. You got to stay true to yourself. Yep. So there you go. Well, Frank, what do we have on the docket? What's coming up? We've already talked about possibly going to Atlantic City with Stu. Then we're going to hit the road, USFL, hot dog, whatever, everything on the road down there and on the way back. Who knows? Maybe a trip to Canada later this year. Some other minor league baseball games out Midwest. I don't know. A lot of stuff. A lot of possibilities. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Well, we got the fireworks night at City Field on Saturday. We'll see about what direction we go after that.
Are you going to that game?
Yes.
Okay.
We got to start looking at what minor league games and minor league schedules too.
Yeah, because it's not just minor league teams. It's the independent leagues that's coming up. It's going to be the summer collegiate leagues. There's
yeah, but
sports everywhere, Frank.
I think it's time to start. I think it's time to start hitting the road.
On the road again, units on the road again. All right, so we're hitting the road soon. We're going to head down to Alabama, and who knows where we'll go from there. And I guess this Friday for Memorial Day, we'll be at DJ's, I guess. Networking with Boomer Esiason.
And Evan and Craig.
And Evan and Craig. Can't forget Evan and Craig. Can't forget them. So we'll be we'll be networking at DJ's this Friday, and a whole lot more to come. That's Barstool Units episode 62. Frank, please take us out.
On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. Seeing new places I haven't seen before. I can't wait to get on the road again. Yes, that's right. I want to see what states I could add to my collection this year.
Click, like, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. See you next time.